How the Grinch Stole Christmas. No.
Sorry!
Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not.
Go.
The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. Yep. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows bellowing their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his grimmed fingers nervously drumming, I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then on the noise, that's one thing he hated. The noise. They'll feast on the pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with the Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing. The more the Grinch stopped this Who Christmas sing, the more Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Well, for 53 years and I'll put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming, but how? Then he got an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I am Groot. 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 All he needs is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around. For some signs there was scarce there an answer but found. Did they stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if we can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Poor precious. Then he loaded some bags and some more empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, get up, and the sleigh started down. Toward the house where the Who's lay on snooze in their town. Oh, the windows were down. I so filthy. All the Who's are all Phoenix, it's been without care. When it came to the first little house on the square, this is stop number 1. He told the old Grinchy house his, and he climbed to the roof and took back and left it. Then he slid down the chimney without the tight bench. But if Santa could do it, and so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his hair out of the fireplace rail. But the little stockings all hung in a row. His stockings are grinned, but first things to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant. Around the whole room he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums. And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slammed to the icebox. He took those fish. He took the pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Where that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed out the fruit at the chimney with great now, grinned the Grinch. I will stuff out the tree.
this tiny hoot dog who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought him a lie and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, I faked Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here.
And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head. He got her a drink and he sent her to bed.
And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stopped that tree up.
The last thing he took was a log for the fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On the walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse.
Then he did the same thing to the other whose houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other whose mouses. It was 1:15, all the who's still abed, all the who's still as snooze. When he packed up his packed it with their presents, their ribbons, their wrappings, their tags and the tinsels, their trimmings, their trappings.
2,000 feet up, over the side of our cup. He rode with the load of the top to dump. But both of those, he Grinches, they're humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know this what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Their nose down the hoover will all cry boo.
That's a noise, screamed the Grinch, and he simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. I don't remember if, go ahead and leave, yeah.
What did you do? It sounded like over the stairs started to melt and it started to grow.
The sound wasn't sad. Well, the sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry. Very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes, and he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every go down to the Whoville, the tallest man was singing without any present at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming, it came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stopped puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzle was sore. And the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more.
Rico, and what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes small that day. Grew 3 sizes that day. Oh, and let me tell you about the beginning of my heart. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whispered to the Lord through the bright morning light, and he bought pocket of toys, and the food for the feast, for the fusa, and up for the lemons, and he himself, King Julian, he carved the roast beast. That's it.